Hello, Da Vinci. Welcome back. This is our science for this week. Now, it is the Monday, the 8th of February. My goodness, forgotten the month already. Monday, the 8th of February, 2021. And we're looking at exercise. So, learn objective. Can I check and explore my heart rate? Humans, animals, plants. What do they all have in common? Talk to you, Teddy. Talk to you, Teddy. What do humans, animals, and plants all have in common? Once you've had that discussion, if you haven't had the discussion yet, pause that video. Shall I give you a bit of a clue? See whether you're on the right lines. Are you ready? That's the first picture for each one. Human, animal. Sorry, that's not an animal, Mr. Watkiss. Human, plant, animal. Human, plant, animal. Human, plant, animal. I may have shown you the answer. They all grow. That is what is the same between each of these. They all grow. They all start off as something small. So we've got a baby, we've got a seed, and we've got a puppy. Then we've got a child, and we've got a plant, and then we've got a bit of an older puppy, like a young dog, and then we've got a man grown from the baby, we've got a tree grown from the seed, and we've got a big dog grown from the puppy. They've all grown. So let's have a look. As we grow, our bodies grow as well. As our bodies grow, so do the bits inside our bodies, our body parts. Now talk to your Teddy. What is the organ? Now that means something inside your body that keeps us alive. What's the organ that keeps blood going around our body? What's the organ that keeps blood going around our body? Remember, we need blood to survive. If you don't have blood, we won't survive. So what keeps blood from going around our body? If you said the heart, you're absolutely right. The heart is what keeps blood going around our body. So shall we explain why? Before we do, what's the difference here? Talk to you, Teddy. What's the difference between these two? What's the difference? Well, I hope after you had that discussion, you were very clear about the difference, because one of them is real and one is not. One of them is a real life heart, which is the one, I can't move my slide anymore, never mind. One of them's a real heart and one of them is not. This is what we imagine. We do cartoons of hearts. We're like, oh, lots of love, and we do a little heart like this. That's not what a heart looks like. A heart looks like this, and it's not as pretty when we think about it. If you think about you sending a love heart to somebody, say you love them, and that's what your actual heart looks like. Strange. But this is more of a I love you kind of love heart, and this is our actual heart that beats. Now, I've got some facts for you here. Did you know what other do you know what other body part is the same size as your heart? There's something on our body that is the same size as our heart. Do you know what it is? Well, if you don't know what it is, that's absolutely fine, because what it is it's our fist. So if you make a fist, your fist is around about the same size as your heart. And as your fist grows, so does your heart. Your heart will start off very small when you're a child, and it will grow bigger and bigger and bigger, just like your fist will. So if you close your fist, that's around about the right size of my heart. So have a look at what your heart looks like. Now, the heart plays a really important part. It pumps blood around our body. So like in the last question, it said, what moves the blood around our body? It's our heart. Our heart pumps. So you have to imagine it's like doing a bit of a dance almost. And the heart is each time it's pumping the blood around the body. And what it does is it gives oxygen or air to our muscles if they need them. And if your muscles had no oxygen, they wouldn't work. You wouldn't be able to use your muscles because they need oxygen in order to work. But why? Why do they need oxygen? Well, if you don't need oxygen to your muscles, your heart beats slowly. If it stops beating, then unfortunately you would die. But your heart needs to keep beating. But as you are not exercising, your heart beats slowly. However, when you need lots of air in your muscles, your heart beats very fast to try and get the blood there as quick as possible. The quicker it beats, the quicker the blood pumps around your body. We usually, which means we often, need air in our muscles when we're trying to do some exercise, like lifting heavy things. If you're lifting heavy things, your biceps, like this man's here, they need the oxygen going to their muscles so that they can lift those heavy things. If your heart is not pumping very fast, you're not going to be able to lift it because you are not going to have the strength because your muscles need the oxygen. But if your heart's beating super fast, it's going to get lots of oxygen to your muscles, which means you're then going to be able to lift it. So I've got a bit of a task for you here. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to sit down like I am here. I'm sat down on my chair, like that lady is there. She sat down on a chair. And I'd like you to get your two fingers like this. You can't use your thumb. And the reason, I'll explain that in a minute. You need two fingers. Now you either put them on your side of your neck here, holding them, and you should feel, it's very, very faint, so you must not talk. You must be nice and still. And you should feel a small pulse. Now it'll kind of feel like, if this is my neck, it'll kind of feel like something's doing that to my fingers, okay? That's kind of how it feels. And they're pulses. That's your pulse. And that says how fast your heart's beating. And as the blood, as you feel, what it is you're feeling the blood going past. And basically you're feeling each time your heart is beating, okay? So if you sit there, you need to sit there for 60 seconds. That's 1 minute, okay? You sit there and you feel and you count how many times. So you might need an adult's help. Your adult might say, go, and they'll wait for 1 whole minute whilst you count your beats. Once you've counted how many times you felt a pulse, then what you're going to do is you're going to say the stem sentence, my resting heart rate was, and then the number that you counted, beats per minute. You're probably going to get around about 60, something like that, 40, 60, maybe a bit more, okay? Especially if you're sitting down doing nothing. My resting heart rate was 60, and then we measure it in beats per minute, beats per minute. And that's saying how many times it pulsed in 1 minute. My resting heart rate was 60 beats per minute. I've then got your next challenge. Once you've done that, I want you to do some of your astronaut exercise training plan. And I want you to exercise for 5 whole minutes. You need to get yourself feeling very energized. And maybe that might be a little bit sweaty and a little bit tired because you need to get your body moving really, really quickly. You need to do that for 5 minutes. You can't just do it like this and then go, okay, I'll take it now, because you have not done enough to get your body moving. Your body needs to feel like you need to get that oxygen to your muscles, which means you need to do some running on the spot, maybe for a few minutes. You need to do, like this lady's doing here, some sit-ups maybe for a few minutes. You might need to do some other exercises from your exercise plan, like lifting heavy shopping bags, okay? Once you've done that for 5 whole minutes and you've got a little bit tired and you're breathing heavy and you might get a little bit sweaty, okay, I need you to take your pulse again. You then need to, you can stand up if you want for this one. You hold your fingers on your neck here. Let me see if I can show you on this side. So you put them on the side of your neck like this and you will feel them. Now I always do mine on my right side, okay? So when you're looking at me, it'll be on this side, okay? And you hold them. Let me see if I can get a good shot. So kind of where your ear is, you kind of go straight down and it's kind of in this spot here. So where in the middle of your neck here, you kind of just go across and it's kind of in line with your ear-ish, okay? Kind of down here-ish. Your adult might be able to help you a little bit with that, okay? Now, what do you notice after you've taken your pulse again? So to take your pulse again, you still need to put your fingers on, get your adult to do 1 minute, and you need to count how many times. Now, what do you notice? And you can tell me on your video for Tapestry. So I had a heart rate of, and maybe you said 60 resting, and I maybe had a heart rate of 90 after exercise. My heart rate has, and then you tell me, has it gone up? Has it gone down? It's gone down. Maybe you weren't exercising hard enough. Has it gone up? And why do you think it's gone up? You can tell me all about that. You could maybe show me you doing that exercise and you trying to take your pulse. That would be amazing. Now, just to show you what I'd like you to do, I've got some visual steps here. Your first one, take your pulse sitting down, then do your exercises, and then take your pulse again. And remember those 2 numbers that you counted as you're taking your pulse. Now, I said I'd tell you why you can't use your thumb. Well, your thumb has got, realistically, a line of blood that runs directly into your thumb, really. And you can feel a pulse in your thumb more than you can feel the pulse in your fingers, which means if you're using your thumb to count, or use your thumb, this is the other place to do it, just in case you didn't know, on your wrist, goodness, Mr. Watkiss, get the angles right. On your wrist here, where you'd wear a watch, you put your 2 fingers like that, and you might be able to feel it there. It's easier to feel it here, but this one's quite easy as well, okay? So if you used your thumb here, not only are you counting your pulses in your arm, but you're also counting the pulses on your thumb, because your thumb's getting its own pulse, which means you're counting twice. So you'd get double the number, which means it's like 5 doubled is 10. You'd get, 40 doubled is 80, and it'd make your heart rate a lot higher than it would be. So that's why we don't use our thumb, because our thumb's got our own pulse in it. Okay, so that's your science lesson today, all about your heart, all about exercising, all about taking your pulse. I hope you enjoy this one. You might need to have an adult at home help you a little bit, because it is a little bit difficult to try and work it out for the first time on your own. But that's everything for today, Da Vinci. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.